Have you ever noticed how, before any big conflict in life, we start counting our supporters, our strength, our position, our side? The battlefield of Kurukshetra is not just about warriors and weapons. It is about ego, attachment, pride, and fear, the same battles we fight every single day. Today, through Shlokas 6 to 10 of the Bhagavad Geeta, let us see how Duryodhana reveals the modern human mindset without even realizing it. As the conches fall silent, Duryodhana begins listing his warriors. But listen carefully. His words expose his insecurity more than his strength. Trident Templum Shloka 6, the need for validation. Yudhanusht vikrant uttamojasht viryavan. Salvadro dropdeasht serv ev maharthare. Here is Bhishma. Here is Drona. Here is Kripa. Duryodhana names them one by one. But pause here. Why is he explaining his own army to the commander who knows them better than anyone else? Backhand index pointing right, because when fear hides inside confidence, we over-explain. Seedling life connection. How often do we do this? Before an exam, I studied everything. Before a meeting, I know all the answers. Before a difficult decision, I am ready. Yet inside, the heart whispers, am I really enough? Duryodhana's words sound strong, but his mind is already shaking. Shloka 7, comparing strength. Asmakantu vishishta yetanibodh dvijottam. Naika mam senyasya sangyarthan tambravimite. Now listen carefully, O best of the twice-born. I will tell you about the leaders of my army. He continues listing names. But notice the pattern. Backhand index pointing right, he compares. He counts. He measures strength. In today's world, we do the same. Followers versus followers. Marks versus marks. Salary versus salary. Success versus success. But when life becomes a competition, peace becomes a casualty. The Gita quietly teaches us. Comparison is the first sign of inner unrest. Shloka 8. Loud confidence, quiet doubt. Bhavan Gishmush Karnasht Kripasht Samitinjya. Ashwatthama Vikarnasht Somdatisakamja. There are many heroes here, armed with bows, equal to Bhima and Arjuna in fighting. Duryodhana mentions the enemy's greatest warriors. Ask yourself, why does he bring Arjuna and Bhima into the conversation? Because fear names what threatens it most. What do you fear the most today? Failure? Rejection? Judgment? That fear shows exactly where your attachment lies. Duryodhana's mouth speaks courage, but his mind is already seeing defeat. Shloka 9. Strength without dharma. Anyecha behiva shura madarthe tyekta jivitare. Nana shastra praharna sarve yudh vishardare. There are many others ready to give up their lives for me. Yes, for him. Not for truth. Not for dharma. Not for righteousness. Just loyalty without wisdom. Even today, people blindly follow leaders, trends, ideologies without questioning. But remember this timeless truth. Strength without dharma becomes destruction. Support without values becomes dangerous. This is where Duryodhana loses the war. Before it even begins, what we learn is that the Bhagavad Gita is not telling us who had the bigger army. It is showing us who had the calmer mind. Duryodhana had numbers. Krishna had clarity. And in life, clarity always defeats chaos. Adhyay 1, Shloka 10. Have you ever felt surrounded by support, yet still afraid of losing? What if I tell you, having more people on your side does not mean you are stronger? Shloka 10 of the Bhagavad Gita exposes a truth that shakes every false confidence. Scroll Sanskrit Shloka 10. Aparyaptam tadasmakam balan bhishmabhirakshitam. Paryaptam tvidmitesham balan bhimabhirakshitam. Our army, protected by Bhishma, seems insufficient, whereas their army, protected by Bhima, appears sufficient. Listen carefully to Duryodhana's words. He says, "Our army is insufficient." This is the same man who just listed countless warriors, heroes ready to die for him, a massive force standing behind Bhishma. And yet, his own mind declares defeat. This is the most revealing moment of chapter 1. Duryodhana blames strategy, but the truth is deeper. Backhand index pointing right, a disturbed mind always sees insufficiency, even in abundance. He looks at the Pandava army and says it is sufficient. Why? Because their side is protected by righteousness, while his side is driven by ego and greed. Seedling, let's connect it to our real life. How many times do we do the same? You have skills, support, resources, yet you say, it's not enough. Why? Because fear weakens perception. A calm mind sees opportunity. A fearful mind sees shortage. This shloka is not just about warriors. Shield, Bhishma, discipline, tradition, power without choice. Cross swords, Bhima, raw strength aligned with justice. Duryodhana knows this truth deep inside. Strength with dharma feels sufficient. Strength without dharma never does. When your path is wrong, even a huge army feels weak. When your path is right, even limited strength feels enough. This is why the war was already decided, not on the battlefield, but in the mind. Ask yourself today, do I feel not enough even when I have everything? Because that feeling is not lack of power. It is lack of inner alignment. And the Bhagavad Geeta reminds Dharma makes you sufficient.